Coach, it seemed like, especially kind of as the scrimmage wore on, you had a few freshmen really making plays. Lawrence, Francisco, Andrew, Ram, and so on. How have you seen those guys just kind of progress really from the first time they came in here to now where they're really making an impact here in the scrimmages?
Well, I just think we made an investment in them since day one, right? They came here in the summer. They prepared. We knew, especially those guys you mentioned would have to come in and help us right away, right? And sometimes that can be a lot of pressure. Right, but these kids, they come in here, they love the game, right? And they've learned it. They've gotten a ton of reps because of our double repping in practice. So it's been fun to see their growth, and this is a culmination of a lot of hard work for those guys. So every day is something new. Every day they're learning. Every day they're getting better, and it's good to see them make some plays today.
Do you feel like one of the benefits of the scrimmage, we didn't really see much of like Brennan, Ron, and Willie on the edges, but then you get to see those guys. Is that something that you kind of liked where those guys who that are kind of the proven entities, they sit and you get to see what these young guys can really do?
It's huge because in today's football, there's only so many live reps, right? So the guys that are proven and we know what they're going to give us every Saturday, I don't need to see them, right? And you saw it not just at edge, but at backer, played a lot of guys on the inside, corners got some reps. It's that balance of getting them some live tackles, yet, making sure we get to evaluate those 2s and 3s and who can we rely on if somebody goes down. So we like to use that, especially when we get this deep into fall camp, right? The first scrimmage was a little bit more older guys. Now let's get these guys some reps and let them attack and see what they can do.
We talked, I think last week I asked you kind of about some of the positional battles on the defense. Have you seen some resolutions there, or do you think there's still kind of some battles at free safety along the defensive line?
Yeah, I think we're really going to have to watch the tape at free safety today. There's some breakout tackles, some we made, some we missed, right? That's going to be one of the biggest things. I think both those guys are good cover guys. And then, like Pule, he just keeps standing out, right, in these scrimmages that he can handle the workload. A young guy like Xavier Young's really coming along. We're battling through some pieces coming in and out in the interior, so that'll always be in flux, right? But I like in how we're gelling, but we're going to play a lot of guys, okay? And it's not just that, the linebacker's going to play a lot, DNs, a lot of rotations, especially with getting some high-tempo teams this season. We'll rotate a lot of guys in.
Who would you say in your mind has been maybe the one singular biggest surprise? And it doesn't even have to be on defense, but just a guy that's really kind of surprised you in what he's done in the camp.
Well, I think Francisco Mauagoa. Just his smarts. And it's not just he is a heck of a football player. He's a heck of an athlete. But, man, he has come in here and picked up our defense, probably coaching this defense for the last 10 years better than any linebacker I've coached, right? So it's been amazing, just his progress there. And I'm really happy with his development, and I think you'll see him on the field steadily this season.
You talked about getting the younger guys some playing time today. Was that the main priority, or were there any other priorities what you wanted to get done today?
Oh, no, we had certain guys that we targeted. We want to see arch tackle, right? We want to see George get somebody down. We want to see if a young Ram and Andrew Edson has been phenomenal, okay? When he gets tired, what does he do, right? So when you get him 40, 50 reps, you really see who these guys are. Can they process? Our offense stresses us sideline to sideline. So, it's a big piece of that puzzle, really, formulating that 2 deep now and saying, hey, these are the guys right now that we're going with, right? Who's going to be on the scout team, who's going to be, helping the team out in that way, and, just cementing those things of what we've thought through the last 2 weeks.
Just out of an initial reaction, were any depth chart questions answered today?
I got to get on that tape, but they will. We're looking at over 100 plays today, right? So, I told the guys before we started, last night we had a meeting, okay? Show your work on tape today. Show what you've put in today, okay? And I felt like our guys did that, right? There was some mistakes. Did we bounce back? We gave up some big plays. Our red zone defense was a lot better. So scrimmages reveal who you truly are, especially when guys start to get tired. So I thought we answered the bell for the most part.
Can you talk a little bit about what you've seen the last few days from Kyle Thornton? It seems like he's really come on strong in that spot with Jihad kind of on a bit of a pitch count. Just what has he kind of shown you in this last week?
Kyle has been amazing this last week, right? Especially with Jihad, kind of being in the background. I really wanted to challenge him this week and see what he can do. And he has stepped up every moment he's gotten. I'm glad you noticed him because he's done a great job, right? He just earned a scholarship for our football team. A guy since I've been here has done nothing but the right thing. His work ethic, being a great teammate, okay, putting in the time. He wants extra time with me all the time, and it's showing on the field. He slimmed himself down, right? And we moved him to the Will backer position. And, his make the plays have been great here. And Thursday and Saturday today, he did it again.
Now, I don't know if you're ready to answer this yet, but in terms of the defensive line, you have an idea of how many people you want in that unit to be rotating in during games?
Yeah, we'll probably go 5 deep at edge, right, and probably 6 deep at D tackle, right? And we want to keep those guys fresh, right? So until someone really stands out, and we'll try to do as much as we can package-wise, maybe get 4 defensive ends in at a time to pass rush. So they're going to see a lot of people in our defensive line playing, and I think that's a good thing. It creates accountability. Guys practice. They know they have a role, and it might be 10 to 12 snaps, but, you're seeing some guys, Moon Ashby, Andrew Edson, some of those guys really flashing in their role, and that's exciting for us.
The pressure from the front 7 today, how pleased were you with what they were putting in the backfield?
It's a tricky deal with scrimmages, right? Jane DeLora gets out of half of those. We all know that. We've all seen that, right? Cam, all those guys. So I love it, right? That's one of the biggest things. We didn't want to. It wasn't a trick the offense day. Let's play some base defense. Let's see who can rush. Let's see who can tackle. Let's see who can execute base stuff. And I was pleased with what those 4 guys did today, because we all know if you're going to invest in the 4 down, or you got to be able to get pressure on the quarterback and be able to eat up some blocks. So onto the naked eye, I thought they did a solid job today. You
have a play of the day, just kind of top of your head?
Man, it is 2 scrimmages without a takeaway, right? So, we want to get a little bit better at that. I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
There's almost one.
Almost. We'll see on the tape. I was trying to beg for that one on the sideline with Hunter, but same thing. Just a couple good, good stop and runs, guys exploding through the line. That's some of the bigger ones that I remember.
He looked in bounds, by the way. I thought
okay. We'll check. We'll slow it down. Slow it down.
We saw some big runs, also some big run stops today.
Yeah.
What did you think of the run defense as a unit, and how guys are closing gaps? And
I would say a little inconsistent, but I felt like we did a better job on first down today. There was more 2nd and 9, 2nd and 8, 2nd and 7s than we've had against our offense throughout camp. So I think pretty good. We try to keep it under 9 explosives per game, and today was about a game. Felt like we were close to that, and that's run, pass, and penalties. So stopping the run is going to be at the forefront of what we're trying to do.